Hi, Magdalena. Nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us today as we're looking at the fundamentals that are driving the markets currently. So, Peter, what's moving the markets?
Look, on the fundamental side, definitely the European Union reaching a decision to at least partly ban imports of Russian oil made the headlines. It should be noted that the Europeans have some difficulty in actually reaching the decision. It was characteristic that the Hungarians more or less resisted the idea of banning Russian oil imports and partially got away, as the ban is going to be not full, but only partial. The big question which arises now is actually if the Europeans have had such a degree of difficulty to actually reach a decision to ban imports of Russian oil, what are they going to do about gas? It's the next big thing. And should there be another wave of sanctions from the EU towards Russia, definitely at some point gas will have to be included, and it's going to be a very difficult decision for the Europeans. Other than that, we would be highlighting the meeting of US President Biden with Fed Chairman Powell. It should be later today. Now, the two are going to be meeting and probably going to be discussing about the US, however, also the global economy. Note the high inflationary pressures in the US economy, which tend to make the task and the duties of the Fed quite difficult. On the same side, inflationary pressures have also detrimental effect to the income of workers and usually tend to be heading more to mid and low income households, and that's a big issue, especially for the US president. So it's going to be a very interesting meeting, and we are waiting to see what the outcomes will actually be.
Okay, interesting. So prices are on the rise in Europe?
Yeah, prices are on the rise. Definitely, inflationary pressures are very high in the Eurozone. It should be noted that yesterday we got the HICP rate for May of Germany, which exceeded market's expectations, reached at around 8.7% year on year. The same also applies to France's HICP rate, which also exceeded market expectations. So we wouldn't be surprised to see market expectations being exceeded also today with Eurozone's preliminary HICP rate for May. Now, the big question is, given the inflationary pressures, is ECB actually going to be tightening monetary policy at a faster pace or not? And we have to note at this point that yesterday we had some comments made by ECB's chief strategist, Philippe, where he actually stated that the bank may be proceeding with a 25 basis points rate hike in July and another to be followed in September. On the one hand, these statements more or less tended to reaffirm the market's expectations that the bank will be continuing to tighten, or at least will be abandoning its ultra loose policy and will be tightening it with rate hikes to come. On the flip side, the statements more or less calmed markets that the bank's gradual approach is still on and it will be the main modus vivendi for the bank. So more or less the bank is going to be tightening its monetary policy, but it's definitely not enough.
Okay, so some reactions should be expected by the ECB, right?
Yeah, but the main question here is also ECB President Lagarde. She will be making some statements tomorrow, as well as Philip Lane, which will be making more statements once again tomorrow. So we expect to see how this whole thing is going to be playing out. However, it seems that both are going to be sticking to the script, confirming that rate hikes are to come, however, at a gradual pace.
Okay, and how about the US releases?
Oh, US releases today. We have the US consumer confidence indicator. It's expected to drop, and that would be a negative for the US dollar. It's being realized actually. The main issue here is that should the indicator actually drop, that would imply that the average US consumer is seeing the outlook for the US economy with a less optimistic, and that could practically prohibit the increase of retail sales in the US economy. Thus, fusion of the average US consumer to the recovery of the US economy may be to a lesser grade.
Looney traders are also expecting some news.
Oh yeah, CAD traders in the American session are going to be focusing definitely on the GDP rate. That's for quarter one. Now the quarter one rate is expected to decelerate, to slow down, and if actually so, could weaken the CAD, as practically that would imply that the growth of the Canadian economy has slowed down. Now, the release as such is important. However, it's more in importance because tomorrow in the American session, we will be getting Bank of Canada's interest rate decision. So the release today is definitely going to be affecting CAD traders' expectations for tomorrow.
Okay. And how about the oil prices are continuing to rise?
Oil prices continuing to rise. The ban of the EU to imports of Russian oil practically has pushed higher oil prices. And we have put here that definitely the supply side of oil remain quite tight, which more or less is driving the bulls in the oil market. By the way, it should be noted that the rise of oil prices could also provide some support for the Canadian dollar, given that Canada as an economy is a major producer of oil and its economy is high oil prices. So should oil prices continue to be on the rise, we may see some support being built for the Canadian dollar as well.
Okay, and what about tomorrow Asian session?
Well, tomorrow in the Asian session, the highlights, or the spotlights if you prefer, is expected to be on the Aussie.
Okay.
We have Australia's GDP growth rate for quarter one to slow down. And if actually so, could weaken the Australian dollar, as it once again would imply that the Australian economy could lower pace for the first quarter of the year. I would be highlighting, though, also another two releases for us. The first would be the building permits growth rate. And should there be a deceleration on that front as well, we may see the bearish tendencies for the Aussie getting an early start. The second release I would also like to note would be practically China's manufacturing PMI figure. That's for May. Now, today in the Asian session, we had the release of the NBS manufacturing figure, the National Bureau of Statistics of China. Now, it showed some improvement. It actually surpassed 49, which is a positive. Why? Because, and this is the catch, it still has superseded the reading of 50, which is a cutoff point. So, release early this morning showed that China's manufacturing sector still contracted economic activity, however, at a slower pace. Tomorrow's release is going to be interesting for traders, as they are also looking into news about growth in China's manufacturing sector, as it has a data on the exports of raw materials. So should the Gaixing manufacturing PMI figure actually rise and surpass even the reading of 50, that would be positive news for Australian exporters. On the flip
Great.
side, there would be another release which could get some attention. That would be from Japan, though, and that would be the Jibun manufacturing PMI figure. It's the final figure, and Japan's economy is based on manufacturing. So JPY traders, besides the usual safe haven flows for the Japanese currency, be keeping an eye out also for that release as well.
Nice, interesting. And how about the US stock markets?
US stock markets were supported yesterday, and that was positive. Should the positive market sentiment continue, earnings releases of high-profile companies which could excite traders, we may see them gaining even further, and should at least the earnings releases be on the positive side. If that's the case, we may see a more market sentiment surrounding the market, and in this, stocks and stock indexes may be getting some support as they are considered to be more risky assets, while at the same time we may see safe havens weakening further. It was characteristic that yesterday actually the US dollar strengthened against both safe havens, the CHF and JPY. So I would like to see how the American session actually opens to get a drift of what the market sentiment is actually moving towards. It was characteristic that the Europeans seem to have taken a small, but it's still early to see.
Great. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Join us after a short break for technical analysis with Peter Yosif.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the technical analysis part of today. We make a start with the USD Index, and this is the USD Index for our chart right now. Let's have a look at how this downward trend line is actually performing. Oh, it seems to have been broken. Actually, we have to correct the support and resistance lines. Let's do that right now. Somewhere here. See these nice touches and supports around the 22nd to the 25th of March. That should be our next support line. Let's confirm this in green, please. Yep. And the last one. So it's at 103.85. 102.90. 102.05. 101. However, that may have to be corrected. Let's have a look at this. First support line seems to be valid here. Let's see if we can find more support resistance lines. This is at 101.30. Tight motion. Moving out to the weekly chart, you had some touches here. Okay, I'll take it. For our chart, zooming. So we have changed now. $101.30. $99.80. Sorry, 99, not 19. And the last one, the new one, at 98.40. Here we are. So the USD Index has been dropping, and that has been happening since the 13th of May, a weakening of the US dollar over the past 2.5 weeks. However, that was interrupted yesterday, actually today in the Asian session, as the index actually bounced on the 101.30 support line, newly established, and has broken the downward trend line. Hence, we are forced to switch our bearish outlook in favor of a sideways movement, at least initially. It should be noted that the price action has reached of the Bollinger Bands, the 20 moving average, and has stabilized. On the other hand, the RSI indicator is still below the reading of 50, but it's getting there. So we would switch our bearish outlook in favor of a sideways bias. Now, for anything different, we would require a clear breaking of either the R1, 102.05. That would be maybe a signal for a bullish movement. And the index may start aiming for the 102.90, which used to be a support line, has now been turned to a resistance line, even higher, and this could be readjusted as well. Somewhere here. 103.95. With the R3 being the ultimate target for the bulls for the next 24 hours. So that, and should the bears take over, we would expect the index to 101.30. That would be a first sign that the bears have regained control over the index. and start aiming for the 99.80, providing resistance support here. And even lower than that would be the 98.40. They are both quite wide, and there may be middle levels which should be taken notice of, like here. Let's have a look at EURUSD. Oh, we have a shift of the upward trend line. Yet that was, or at least seems to have been, decisively broken of the pair during today's Asian session. Let's realign the certain resistance lines. Here you are. So the breaking of our trend line, which guided the pair practically since the 12th of May, would force us to switch our outlook from a bullish outlook practically to a bias for sideways movement initially. Should the pair's price action actually break the 1.0 and start aiming for the 1.0935, even touch it, I would require clear breaking of the 1.0740 and the price action to touch the R2. That would practically more or less drive us once again to a bullish outlook. Note how beautiful a resistance level was found here. While the 1.0740 provided resistance here, support here. Lower than that, we note that the price action, should the bears take over, actually guided, we would expect it to hit the 1.0605 and know it. We would require that clearly for our buy sideways movement to switch in favor of a bearish outlook. Lower than that, we also note the 180. It's another important look, provided actually the lower boundary of the past sideways movement. And even lower would be the 1.0355, which is also the lowest level reached price action in our chart, and should be considered as the ultimate target for the bears. The RSI indicator is still above the reading of 50, but pretty close to it. So the stabilization seems to be gaining some traction here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the price action actually revolving around the 1.0740. Above it and lower than that. So for the bullish outlook to reemerge, we would require a clear breaking of the 1.0935. Let's have a look at the Kiwi. The Kiwi, which has actually, let's have a look at this. Let's correct this. The 0.6475, which has now been turned to a support line. Somewhere here. It could be a little bit hard still. So we have as the R3, the high noted, the 0.6715, which provided support into the 19th of April. Lower than that, we have the R2, our second resistance line, which is the 0.6645. Look what a nice touch and how the level actually capped the upward motion of the action for the Kiwi around the 25th of April. And lower than that, we know the 0.6555, which price action yesterday. Even lower, we get our first support line, which would be the 0.6475. The S2 would be the 0.6265, sorry, 6365. And the S3 would be the 0.63, 6290. Go. We'll see how this behaves, the trend line. And it seems to be about to be broken. As the stabilization of the pair takes place, the upward trend line seems to have been broken. Should it become a little bit clearer in the next 8 hours, that would actually force us to switch our bullish outlook in favor of a sideways movement, initially between the 0.6555 and the 0.6475. The R1 has proven its worth yesterday, and the S1 was prior resistance line, which should not be neglected. Lower than the S1, and should a selling interest be expressed by the market, we may see the pair's price action breaking the 0.6475, test the 0.6365, which provided support once, twice here, and resistance here. That would be the 0.6290 to the upside. And should the pair find extensive fresh buying orders along its path, we may see the pair breaking above the 0.6555 and start aiming for the 0.6645, providing resistance here. And even higher than that would be the 0.6715. I know it's quite tight here. However, I wouldn't neglect the support level here. Also note how the RSI indicator is still dropping, aiming for the reading of 50. And that implies that there's more bearish movement to come, most probably. Even should the price action stabilize, the upward trend line would have been broken. Let's have a look at the pound cable. Cables for our chart. Okay. Cables for our chart seems to have stabilized. Definitely has stabilized. Yep. Very tight range bound movement above the 1.2640, which is now being tested as a support line. And we have our new support line, which we had already noted at 1.2610. The new resistance line at 1.3090. So let's have a look. There are 3. There are 2 at 1.2965. The S2 at 1.25. And the S3 at 1.2330. So the pair has been on the rise practically from the 25th to the 27th of May. Has stabilized since, has broken the slight upward trend line which had started form. That forces us to switch our outlook in favor of a sideways movement above and the 1.2610 support line. Note the tight range-bound movement of the pair practically since the 27th of the month. That's for the past 4 days. So note that the last candlesticks can barely be seen. That's how tight the price action has been. Also note how the Bollinger Bands have converging, signaling practically the lowering of the volatility and the stabilization of the pair. At the same time, note that the RSI indicator is running just above the reading of 50, pretty close to an indecisive market, maybe with the bulls having a slight advantage, but I wouldn't have it. I would take it that's a clear sideways movement for now. We would require clear breaking of the 1.2610 and for the pair to actually reach the 1.25 for switching our bias of a sideways movement in favor of a bearish outlook. Should the S1 and the S2 be broken, the next possible level for the bears could be at the 1.2330. Note how beautifully it provided support here. To the upside, and for the bulls to take over, we would require the pair cable to actually reach and even break the 1.2775, which provided resistance here. And higher than that, we note the 1.2965, while even higher the 1.39. Note, however, that a very wide spread between the resistance lines and the support lines. The price action has very low volatility, at least past 12 hours, after it corrected lower just around midnight today. Yesterday, sorry. So we tend to maintain a bias for a sideways movement between the 1.610 and the 1.2663. It's a movement of around 50 pips, nothing much. Let's have a look at USD JPY. Okay, in the daily chart, we can see how the pair actually dropped, stabilized, and has been on the rise since yesterday. Clear strengthening of the US dollar. Let's readjust this. No. Leave it as it was somewhere here. So the downward trend line has been broken. Even the secondary has been broken. So that should more or less reaffirm switch from a bearish outlook in favor of a sideways bias. Yep, definitely. But I would readjust these levels a little bit here. See this line here? It's repeatedly tested here. A false break, down. That would be at 130.25. Now, the 127.55 has now been turned into a support line as the price action has moved above it, clear breaking. The new R3 is being placed at the highest point of our chart. i.e. the 131.35. We adjust this. Let's widen it just a little bit. There you are. The question is though, is there an upward trend line starting to form? I wouldn't bet on that. It's being actually put to the test right now. So given also that the RSI indicator is more or less have started to aim for the reading of 50, I would be holding my horses before calling in the bulls here. Most probably it will be a sideways movement, especially should the upward movement here be interrupted and the pair stabilizes just above the 127.85. Maybe with new resistance line being placed somewhere here, but we have to confirm that. So we switch our bearish outlook definitely in favor of a sideways bias, at least initially. Should the pair's price action actually bounce, shift the upward trend line to the right, and bounce upwards, testing the 128.85, breaking even higher, and starting to aim for the 130.25, that would be a clear sign that the bulls have taken over. Most probably that would also force us to switch our bias for a sideways movement in favor of a bullish outlook. And as the highest level noted for the bulls would be the 131.35, the highest level also in our chart by the price action. On the flip side, to the downside, should the bears actually gain control, would expect a clear breaking of the upward trend line as the first sign of a trend reversal, and the price action to actually break also 127.85 and reach as low as the 126.50. The S2, which has provided support once, twice here, and resistance back here. Lower than that, we note also 125.05. By then, a clear downward trend line should have started to form, which could be convincing you about the direction of the pair. For the time being, once again, we tend to maintain a bias for a sideways movement, and that's the initial reaction. Let's have a look at the Aussie. Oh, Aussie has been rising. That's nice. Has been stabilizing here though. Let's correct the resistance lines. Yep, it's been confirmed. Here it is. Red. Higher. Let's have a look at this 0.7460. Okay, I'll keep it. Could be a little bit low as well. I know there's a wide difference between the R2 and the R3, which is played now at 0.7340. Still, this wide movement here should be taken into account. I would be ignoring a minor resist line here, but I think it's worth it. Have a look at the R1. It's being placed at 0.7265. Also provided resistance here, so that's pretty bad. Reversed, Captain reversed upward price action. S1, which is now being actually tested at 0.71. The price action seems to be revolving around it. S2 being placed at 0.7125. At 0.7030. So, for the time being, we tend to maintain a bullish outlook, yet we highlight the stabilization of the pair for the past 24 hours. It could be our next modus vivendi. However, to switch our bullish outlook, we would require a clear breaking of the upward trend line. Note that the RSI indicator is between the readings of 50 and 70, implying that there is still some bullish sentiment. The downward motion of the RSI indicator, though, may be implying that the bulls are losing some steam here. And the price action should actually break the upward trend line before switching our outlook. Once again, though, the stabilization seems to be pretty strong here. Should the bulls actually maintain control, we may see the pair start aiming for the 0.7265, which reversed the upward motion of the pair around the 4th to the 5th of May. Higher than that, we note also the 0.7340, which was a support line, has now been turned into resistance line. And the highest level noted would be the 0.7460, the highest level also noted in our chart anyway. To the downside, we would require a clear breaking of the 0.7180, the downward trend line, and the pair to actually reach the 0.7125, if not break it, before switching our bias for a sideways movement into a bearish outlook. Some would even require the price action to reach as low as the 0.7030, which provided support here, resistance here, and support once again here. Let's have a look at CHF. Give me a sec. Now, USD CHF remaining in a side. Let's readjust this. The downward trend line has been broken. That's clear. The pair is now moving in a sideways motion, a range-bound movement. Actually, there's quite some support at 95.50. Somewhere here. Could be even lower. Nah, let's keep it. Anyway, the bias for sideways movement is present since the price action has broken the downward trend line guiding the pair from the 16th of May until the 24th of May, and has been now moving above the 0.9550. A minor resistance line seems to have started to form around the 0.966372, which would be capping or be the upper boundary of the sideways motion we're talking about. The RSI indicator is just below the reading of 50. Note how the Bollinger Bands have been converging slowly but steadily, once again implying that volatility is becoming lower. That should be about it. Let's have a look at the CAD. USD against the Loonie. Oh, that's a movement, an intense movement. Yep, broken. Let's find some support lines here. $24.65 being placed, locked. Next one, $25.65, locked. Next one, $26.35, 45, sorry, also locked. 27.20. $1.28. also being placed. I would like to see this one being a little bit higher, somewhere here. This peak here, and we can delete this one. Yeah. $29. Too high. Lower. 28.95. That's the touch. There you go. Now the pair has been moving in a downward motion from the 26th of May until today's Asian session, and the downward trend line has now been broken with a stabilization of the pair above the 1.2645, which actually is our support line. Note though that the RSI indicator is below the reading of, it's not below, it's running along the reading of 30, which is still present for the pair. So a bearish switch should not be traders. But the main scenario, given that the downward trend line has been broken, is switching the bearish outlook in favor of a sideways movement above the 1.2645, which is actually pretty tight as well. Should the bears regain control, we would expect the pair to break the 1.2645 and start aiming for the 1.2565. Lower than that, we would note the 1.2465, which provided support here. To the upside, and bulls take over, we may see the pair breaking the 1.2720 and start aiming for the 1.28, which used to be a subline once, twice. Even higher than that, we would note the 1.289 providing resistance here. Let's have a look also at tier 1. Okay. Let's do this. USD TRY seems to have stabilized. And it's actually now playing with the 16.40. Just broken above it. But we would require a clicking of the 16.40 before actually removing it from a resistance line and turning it to a support line. Higher than that, we would note the 17,000. Sorry, the 17. Let's have a look at the touch. If we can find one. Should be way back. Okay. Let's down to the 4-hour chart again. So higher than that, we know the 17 resistance level, and even higher, the 17.60. To the downside, albeit the sideways movement is pretty clear here. It has started 24th of May and is still ongoing for the past week. To the downside, we note the 15.74. Lower than that would be the 15.23, and even lower the 14.63, which provides support here and here, while the 15.23 provides support here, the 15.74 here and here. To the upside, and should the 16.40 actually be clearly broken, and the pair starts moving for 17,000, should R2 be also broken, the next level could be at 17,060. The lira is quite worrisome. It's easy to pick up how the RSI indicator is clearly above the reading of 50, actually between 50 and 70, and that's a clear reminder that the bulls are still present for the pair, and it may start gaining ground at a given moment. Note how the RSI indicator note how the Bollinger Bands have narrowed, reflecting the lower volatility of the pair over the past 24 hours. It's very characteristic. Beautiful chart, people. Let's have a look at XAU USD, and that would be our last one. Actually, no, this is sideways movement below the 1859. Nothing much, but still pretty interesting. Clear sideways movement, narrowing of the Bollinger Bands. The RSI indicator just below the reading of 50, pretty close, as the price action remains below 1859. Last but not least, WTI. Whoa, a nice clear upward movement. It's a beautiful movement. Have a look. Nice upward trend line. So the commodity has broken its upward motion, the 113. Now turn to support line, the 180. WTI is now trading at 117.75. Let's have a look at what resistance lines we can find. There you go. $126.45. Another one. $123.60. Color this in red. There could be another one. Here. But this is a minor one. Because there were some touches here. Nevertheless, let's clear this. 119 is the first resistance line to be met. Why? Because it provided support and resistance here. Next level would be at 123.60. $26.45. The old market for the bulls. Yep. To the downside, we know the 113.80. $113. $110. There you go. So, a clear bullish outlook for the commodity as long as it remains above the upward trend line. Next line would be the 119, with the next one being 3.60, being the R2. To the downside, we note the 115.80, and should the bears actually take over, would require clear breaking of the mentioned upward trend line. The 115.8 as well, and the price action to start aiming as low as 113. Nothing less would be for a sideways motion. After the 113, we also note the 110. That should sum it up for today. From all of us here at IronFX, best wishes for solid trading.
Hello, traders. So my name is Nicolina. Hello again. I am again with you to this live session in order to answer together some of the most frequently asked questions, what traders ask our support department, and what potential clients are about to know before they start their trading experience with us. So today we're gonna answer together some FAQs. Here is the FAQ page of our portal, of our website. So in order to have access to our FAQs, you just tap here, IronFX, tap on FAQs, and you will find yourself in this site. So, do you have questions about online trading? How can we help you? Here we have answers for your most frequently asked questions concerning account opening issues, client funding issues, how to fund your account, deposit methods, etc., trading issues, and trading platform issues. First of all, we're going to select together a topic to talk. Today, we're going to talk about account opening. You just tap here, view the articles. So, some of your most frequently asked questions is, how long does it take to open a live account? What proof of address document is required? How do I change the leverage of my account? Do I need to download any software before I start trading? What is the difference between HTTP, ECN, and real accounts? Can I trade micro lots with a deposit of over $10,000? I forgot the password to my client portal. What shall I do? How do I open an additional account? I have two accounts and I made a deposit to the wrong account. How can I transfer the funds to my different account? So, coming again to the first question, how long does it take to open a live account? The procedure is very simple. You just click ironfx.com on Google or Safari, whatever you use, and you just tap on the register button. The procedure of account opening is easy and fast and takes less than 1 minute. Moving on, what proof of address document is required? I know that many of you may have issues, especially when you live to somebody else's house, for example, your parents' house, or you're a student, or you still live with somebody else and somebody else pays for your bills. It's very simple. No worries about that. You can easily upload a bank statement. For example, we require a recent utility bill. water or electricity bill. No problem if you don't have this on your name. You can upload a recent bank statement dated within the last 6 months. Please note that we are not accepting online statements and mobile phone bills. So the bank statement that you're about to upload needs to be an official paper from your bank, and your name, your home address, and the date should be indicated on the paper. Next is, how do I change the leverage on my account? This is again a very easy procedure. You just go to, sign in on your account, tap on the trading requests, and then tap on leverage. You can change the leverage on your account via the client portal, as I said before, by clicking on Actions next to the account you wish to amend. This button can be found on the Overview tab under My Account. Your account should not have any open positions to change the leverage. Of course, if you have any small issues, or do you require any further assistance according to this, you can always tap on this red button over there, start the chat, and ask one of our support agents to assist you with this procedure. Next, we have, do I need to download any software before I start trading? You need to download one of our MT4 trading platforms or start trading through the MT4 web trader via your browser. The MT4 application can be found on our website. You just connect on ironfx.com, you put your email address and your registered password, and then you click on MT4 platforms and you download the MT4 platform that is suitable based on the device that you use for trading. It can be a computer, it can be a laptop, an Android, an iPhone, an iPad, whatever. So, one of the most important questions is what is the difference between STP, ECN, and real accounts? Most of the potential clients just ask many times our support department or our back office department what is the best account for them to open in order to have a successful trading procedure. So let's see. Real accounts have instant execution that involves the use of requotes, while STP ECN accounts have market execution with no requotes. Moreover, this is a difference in spreads because of a different liquidity provider. This, can I trade micro lots with a deposit of over $10K? Yes, you can trade micro lots under our micro STP ECN accounts. As I said before, you need to know the differences between real accounts and STP ECN accounts before you start any trading procedure or you open positions on your MT4. One of the most common issues is, I forgot the password to my client portal. What shall I do? No panic here. This is not the end of the world. You just tap on the portal. You just open the portal and click on Forgot Password, like you do for every website that you visit and it comes to forget your password. It's normal, we are human beings. So you tap on Forgot Password and you reset your password. Enter your email address in order to reset your password, of course. How do I open an additional account? Many of our clients, the existing clients, the traders, make most frequently a big mistake. once they want to open an additional account, they just tap on the register button again, and they open a new profile. They are using a different email address and they open an additional profile. This is wrong, traders. How do I open an additional account? You just log in on your existing profile. As I said before, ironfx.com, email, password, and then you land on your existing portal and you just tap on, click on my accounts, then new account, and follow further instructions. You can see it on your portal. There is a huge button, open new account. You just tap on it, and then the procedure is so simple. And last but not least, I have two accounts and I make a deposit to the wrong account. How can I transfer the funds to my different account? Again, here, many of you panic when they deposit to the wrong account. This is not the end of the world, traders. You can just tap on the internal transfer button and make a transaction, a very quickly internal transfer between your two additional accounts under the same profile. Internal transfers can be made via the client portal. Click on transactions, then internal transfers. Choose the respective accounts and the amounts, then press submit. Please note that the balance has to match on the from account. For example, you made a deposit of, let's say, 1,000 euros to the wrong account. You just tap on internal transfers, and within seconds, your money will be transferred to the correct account, and then you will be eligible to start trading on the specific account. This is the most FAQs for account opening. Let's move on to client funding. Client funding. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things in trading, how to fund your account, because with no money on your account, you cannot start your adventure with us. Client funding. So, what are the different payment methods I can use to fund my account? Payments and funding authorization is 100% automatic, and our client portal allows deposits and withdrawals using a simple, easy-to-use single interface. Please see the list of available account funding methods. This is very simple, guys, and very important. You just connect on your account. You just tap on login, connect on your portal. Then you have two big buttons, deposit and withdrawals. If you click on both buttons, you can see how many different methods for each country are offered in order to fund your account or withdraw your benefits. How to deposit funds into my trading account. Again, this is the same procedure. You just tap on the deposit button and then select the method you wish to use in order to fund your account. Which currencies can I use to deposit funds into my trading account? The currencies in which you can deposit depends on the payment method you chose. Main currencies which are covered are these ones. Deposits in different currencies will be converted into the base currency of your trading account at the prevailing rate at the given time. For example, many of you guys may live in a foreign country that you don't use euro as base currency, and you have just opened a trading account in euro because you want to start trading in euros. This is not the end of the world. You can just deposit in another currency, for example, dollars. And then as soon as we receive the deposit, the money will be converted directly into euros, so you can start trading using euro currency. Can I withdraw funds when I have open positions? You can withdraw funds if you have open positions on your platform. Please note that your free margin must exceed the amount specified in the withdrawal instruction, including all payment charges. You will not be able to make a request if you have insufficient funds. Better, in my opinion, before requesting a withdrawal, make a talk with your account manager or the support department just to make sure that you have the exact amount requested for a withdrawal. You just need to check your free margin as it says here, and you need to check, of course, your open positions. What are the relevant fees per payment method? We do not charge any fees for deposits. However, your respective banks or payment providers might charge you additional fees. In general, in our company, we don't charge our clients for deposits or withdrawals, but before make a deposit or request a withdrawal from our side, it's better to contact your payment provider in order to see how much they're going to charge you about this request, this procedure. Why have you changed my MT4 account on the withdrawal? You have withdrawn more than the amount I had requested. The extra amount that was removed is part of the not withdrawable trading bonus that you have received. Whenever you make a withdrawal, a proportion of the trading bonus is removed relative to the amount you deposited and requested a withdrawal. For example, guys, the bonuses we offer, the bonuses are the 20% iron bonus, 40% power bonus, and 100% sharing bonus are only offered for trading. It means that the bonus cannot be withdrawn and cannot be transferable between two accounts. For example, if you request an internal transfer and you have bonus on the account, the bonus will not be transferred. You just need to request again on the account that you will make the internal transfer if they can add the bonus. Or of course, when you withdraw your money, our company, our funding department specifically, will withdraw the bonus from your account. It means that the bonus cannot be withdrawn. It's only offered to you for trading. How can I withdraw my profits? This is very simple. You can use, if you check on the withdrawal options, you will see Skrill or Neteral, that are the e-wallets that we offer, and Bankwire. For bigger amounts over 300 euros, dollars, whatever currency you use, you can use the Bankwire. For profits less than 300 or smaller amounts, you can use Skrill or Neteller. Do you charge a fee for no trading? Yes, the company reserves the right to apply a 3% no trading fee when a trader has deposited and requested to withdraw funds without ever entering one trade. It means that if you deposit and after a while you withdraw without trading, the company will charge you a small amount of 3% fee. These were the most asked questions according client funding, considering our funding department. Next, we have trading questions. For example, we're gonna see what are the trading hours. The price on the chart is different from the price appearing on my trading terminal. Why? My order was stop out. Why? I am getting requotes. What does this mean? And so on and so forth. We're gonna see it now very, very briefly. What are the trading hours? You can trade 24 hours a day, starting at midnight Monday and closing at 11 Friday server time. Please note that the server time is this one. You should always check the server time before logging in on your MT4 and open your positions. This is very, very important, guys. The price on the chart is different from the price appearing on my trading terminal. Let's see the reason why. The charts show the bid price by default. You open a buy position with the ask price and close it with the bid price. You have to add the spread on the bid price to find the ask price. Therefore, the difference in price is due to the spreads. The spreads are always based on the account type that you will use. For example, if you use a live floating spread, the spreads are floating, so it depends on the market. They depend on the market volatility. If it's live fixed spread, then this is another story. It's better to contact your account managers before opening positions. My order was stop out. Let's see why. Your order will be stop out when the margin level, equity used margin of your trading account goes below 20%. This will trigger a stop out and your positions will start closing, starting from the most unprofitable. In general, guys, the stop out button, the stop out procedure is to always save your capital. For example, if the system notices that you're losing money on your trading, the stop out is automatically on. So the positions will close up to a specific price in order not to lose your capital. I am getting quotes. What does it mean? The requote statement usually pops up to inform traders that the execution price has changed and allows traders to decide whether they wish to accept the new price. The advertised price affected by high market volatility can change in a split second, and we need to offer you the latest market price. In such an event, you can either accept the new requoting or reject the new price and cancel the execution of the transaction. Another possible reason for getting requotes could be a bad internet connection, which can delay the transmission of orders. In this situation, you will see old prices instead of current market prices. Next, we have, does the company offer negative balance protection? Of course, in general, in IronFX, you cannot go negative, you cannot have minus capital. The company offer a negative balance protection, and you are not obliged to pay more than that. For example, if you go negative, automatically the trades stop at 0. My pending order was deleted. Why? Let's see. Your pending order will be deleted from the system if the free margin is not enough to cover the margin required for opening the specific order. Same goes with withdrawal, guys. The same thing. You should always check your free margin on the platform before request the withdrawal, before opening positions, and before placing orders on the platform. Can I cancel an instant order request? If you place an instant order, it might not always be possible to cancel it if our trading server has already received your request. In this case, your platform will also give you a warning. Closing of this window will not guarantee the order canceling. Let's see now what is the lowest volume you can trade. Please note that the minimum trading volume of a trade is 0.01 lots. This is the minimum volume. This is the minimum, the lowest volume you can trade with. 0.01 lot. Why is your spread so high on Euro USD, Great Britain USD? Please note that we are using fractional pips precising for the client to benefit from rounding. Instead of 4 decimal places, we use 5, and therefore the 10 pips mark you see is 1.0 pip. And the last question, according to trading, is do you support trailing stops and expert advisors? Our platform supports such functionalities. Please be aware that trading operations using additional functions on your client terminals, such as trailing stop or expert advisor, are executed completely under your responsibility, as they depend directly on your trading terminal. In general, we believe in education, we believe in support. Of course, many of you are beginners, so we offer you support and expert advisors. This expert advisor can be through our trading signals that we provide, through your account manager advices. The account manager is only here to advise. He has not the right to touch your money. He has not the right to tell you exactly what to do. He just give you advices, and then it's up to you if you want to bear them in mind or what. Trading. Now, let's move on to trading platform. Our trading platform is MT4, as we saw from before. We have some questions here as well. Sometimes when I am trying to place an order, I got an error message. Trade context is busy. How this can be solved? Let's see together. Restart your MetaTrader 4 terminal by closing it and launching it again. Sometimes you just need to restart the program or clear your cookies. Or simple as that, use another browser. After installing MT4 on my Mac, the system blocked application because it came from a unknown developer or similar. What shall I do? Apple has changed the security settings to allow installations from the App Store only. To fix it, please go to System Preferences, Security and Privacy. On the General tab, click the little lock in the lower left corner to unlock the General Preference panel. Then select the Anywhere option from the menu. And generally, people who use MacBooks have some difficulties, small issues only, to download the MT4. You just can follow this procedure, or simple as that, use another device. You can use an iPad or even your iPhone or Android. I forgot my MT4 password. What shall I do? This is the most asked questions by traders. You just go on your portal and then you click, after you log in, of course, you click on reset password and then you reset your password from the portal. How do I change my MT4 password? Let's see. To change your MT4 password, please log into your MT4 platform, click on Tools, then Options, click on Change next to the Password tab. Please enter your current password and enter a new one. Then click OK. If you have difficulties on this, you can easily contact our support department and they will help you further with this. Last question. how can I change my password on Android iPhone? Because most of you want to trade easily just with their phone. They don't carry their laptops with them. It's very easy to trade on your phone. So to change the password on your Android iPhone, please click on the Settings tab, then click on Accounts. On the bottom right corner, you see a key icon, and please click on it. You will see a pop-up window to change your password. So these were the most frequently asked questions, guys. If you need something less boring than reading, or if you don't understand something about that, you can always, as I said before many times, contact our support department, or better, check our video tutorials. We have uploaded some video tutorials with the most frequently asked questions, the issues that new traders have. For example, FAQs on how to deposit, how to download the MT4, and how to open an additional account. You just click there, and you will see a video how to do it very quickly and efficiently. So that was all from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed our FAQ procedure with me. Now I'm going to end this live. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a pleasant day and good luck with your trades.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to another walkthrough of our website. Today, I want us to go through the IronFX School option, which I truly believe that it will be very helpful for all of you. Excuse me. Thank you very much. So, as you can see here, this is our home page, and here we have the option of IronFX School. As you see, we have loads of different options right here. First, I want us to go through our newest additions, which is webinars and podcasts. So as you can see here, we have the live Forex webinars, and it's free. You're not going to pay anything. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see which webinar is best for you. So first we have the beginner, intermediate trader, expert trader, and also if you want, you can watch them all. Here you can find all of the available webinars. You can choose the language that you want them, English, Spanish, Portuguese. Then we scroll down to our educators. And it is very, very easy for you to sign up for a webinar. You just have to click on register. You just put your details and you are ready to go. Then we move on to podcast. Here you can see that these podcasts are very educational for all of our clients. They're made from our education and research team. If you click on more here, you can see the available platforms for the podcast. You have Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, Google Podcast, Podcast Addict, and RSS feed. And also, if you want, you can watch our previous episodes where you can find right here. Moving on, we go to the economic calendar. So you see here that it's real-time financial events and indicators. For you who you don't know what is an economic calendar, you have the explanation right here. You also have the explanation of what are economic indicators. And scrolling down, you'll see the timetable. You have the events. You have today, tomorrow, this week, and next week. Basically, you have all of the information right here. Also, you have the top 8 economic indicators for Forex trading. First, we have the gross domestic product, then the non-farm payroll, NFP, unemployment rate, inflation, consumer confidence, central banks, retail sales, industrial production index, and that's it when it comes to the economic calendar. Moving on, we have the financial news. So here you can find an insight of the financial news. You can stay updated when it comes to the latest Forex trading news and also expert technical analysis. You can see here, you just click on read more. Also here you have an explanation of what is technical analysis for you that you don't know and that you're new to this. So as you can see here, technical analysis is based on 3 general underlying assumptions. You have the market discounts everything, price moves in trends, and history tends to repeat itself. Then you see the option right here, which is technical analysis in online trading. You scroll down. And also here you see our research team. Moving on, we are going to Forex trading strategy. So here again, you have an explanation of what is a Forex strategy. You have the basics over here. You have the thoughts on Forex strategies. And then here you have steps to a successful Forex trading strategy. You have choose a market, set a time frame, identify risks, improve your trading strategy. Then we go on to what is Forex. As I said, I truly believe that a broker should have this option for their clients, even if you have experience, even if you don't have any experience, because at the end of the day, knowledge is power. And we truly believe that we need to invest into the education of our clients. We need to provide to our clients something more than a platform and a customer support, because every broker has that at the end of the day. So I truly believe that having the IronFX school will help and is already helping a lot of our clients. So here you see what is Forex. Here you have a full explanation of what is Forex, how does Forex trading work, the Forex market. You have the buy and sell currencies. Why trade Forex with IronFX? The benefits of Forex trading. Here you have the round clock trading, leverage, currency pairs, and low costs. Then we move on to the trading for newbies. So this is for our new clients, for you that you don't have any experience. But as I already said, it doesn't matter if you don't have any experience. This could even help experienced traders. So I would suggest you giving a look at it, because it could you could learn something that you don't know or something that you thought you already knew. So here we have learn how to start trading Forex as a beginner with IronFX. Then we move on to start trading Forex in 5 easy steps. So first we have select the currency pair. Then we have develop a strategy. You need a strategy when it comes to trading. You just can't go with by eyes when it comes to trading. Then you will learn how to analyze the market. Then we have the buy or sell, the orders, and that's it when it comes to it. But as I said, when you start looking at the website, you'll get a better understanding, and also you will have your own dedicated account manager that even if you read something on the website and you still don't understand what you're seeing on what you're reading, you'll be able to communicate with them and they'll be able to guide you through the experience. Then we move on to trading for profit. Then we move on to trading videos. These are extremely helpful. So here you have educational and informative videos for trading. You have market outlook, looking at the charts, IronFX minute, week ahead, daily key points, and how-to videos. I would say if you are a beginner, start with the how-to videos. They're extremely helpful. And then you just navigate through here between the pages. Moving on, we have the glossary. So basically here, what you can do is that you can select a letter from the alphabet. Like let's go with B, for example. And here you have keywords when it comes to trading, like bear, a trader who believes that the price of an asset will fall. Then let's choose T. Then you have here the tick, is a measure of the minimum upward or downward movement in the price of a security. You can choose whichever you want. This is extremely helpful. This will help you a lot. I know it sounds like preschool, but at the end of the day, when you don't know something, you need to start from the beginning. You need to take baby steps in order to achieve something. And this is the best way for doing it at the end of the day. So we move on to the last option, which is Introduction to Forex. So this one is the best option for experienced and unexperienced traders. Here you have every explanation of what means Forex, of what is a Forex market. And then you see here what is Forex. Here you have the explanation of what Forex means. Then you see over here who trades Forex. Because I'm sure that most of you who don't have any experience, you didn't know, for example, that banks are also trading. So you see here governments and central banks, banks and other financial institutions, corporations, investors, speculators, and tourists. Because even if you go to a different country, when you are changing the currency from an example from Europe to the British pound, you're still trading. It's a trade you're doing. Then you have here currencies. So you see here the currency of the US is the US dollar. In Eurozone, we have the euro, which is shared among 19 of the 28 EU member states. The UK has the pound, and Japan, the yen, and etc. The International Organization for Standardization, has determined standard abbreviations for currencies. So how are currencies traded? You see here everything that you need to know. And also something extremely cool that IronFX has, and it will help a lot of you, I'm sure. And it's very fun. So you click here on download the full ebook. So we do have an ebook and it's free of charge. You're not going to pay for anything. So here you have Introduction to Forex. Approximately, I think you just need around 30 to 40 minutes if you're gonna read it carefully. If you have experience, you'll need most probably like 10 minutes to read it. So the first page here, we see what is Forex. Then we move on to who trades Forex again. You have basically everything that the website has and a little bit more. It's with more explanation. It's with more detail for you to understand. For example, here you have the currency pairs. You have the major currency pairs. You have the cross-currency pairs or minor currency pairs. And you have the exotic currency pairs. Then again, here we have the trading Forex, the evolution of Forex trading. We move on to retail Forex trading. And then we have what are CFDs. CFDs is contract for difference. So basically, you see the explanation of it. This is very important. I do believe that you should pay attention to it. Let's read it together. So a contract for difference, CFD, is a financial instrument that allows market participants to invest in an asset without actually owning the asset. So for example, if you are investing on oil, you're not actually buying the oil. You're speculating on the price of the oil. So CFDs are derivatives that allow traders to take advantages, both prices going up and prices moving down on underlying financial instruments, and are often used to speculate in those markets. The CFD is a contract between two parties, the investor, which is you, buyer of the contract, and the broker, which in this case is IronFX, seller of the contract. It states that the seller will pay the buyer the difference between the current value of the underlying asset and its value at contract time, which means closing of the position. If the difference is negative, the buyer pays the seller. It's extremely simple. And here you have margin and leverage. Moving on to the trading sizes. You have the mini lot and micro lot. You have the pip and the pip value. What is a pip? A pip is the smallest amount of change in a currency pair. For currency pairs displayed in 4 decimal places, a pip equals a change of 0.001 yen. Crosses are displayed in only 2 decimal places, and 1 pip in these crosses equals 0.01. Then you have the fractional pip, for example. Moving on, we have the types of orders. You have the market order. What is a market order? Let's read it together. It is an order to buy or sell immediately at the current market price. You push a button and you enter a short or a long position immediately. Exiting the position with the button push at current price is also a market order. So here you have the pending orders to enter. You have buy stop, sell stop, buy limit, and sell limit. Then you have the types of orders. So you have the stop loss, take profit, trailing stop. Here you have bid, ask, and spread. Again, extremely important if you are a new trader. You should pay attention to this here. You have the swap. Here you have more key definitions, which is very helpful again. You have a couple of indicators to watch. And this one over here, high risk trading warning. So this is extremely important if you don't have any experience, if you don't know that there is always risk involved when it comes to trading. So you need to read the disclaimer. And as you see here, our services include products that are traded on margin and carry a risk of losing all your initial deposit. Before deciding on trading on margin products, you should consider your investment objectives, risk tolerance, and your level of experience on these products. As I said again, you're not going to be alone when it comes to this. One of our dedicated account managers will contact you and they will go through with you everything that has to do with trading. So you shouldn't panic. Even if you don't have experience, you should give it a try. It's something that will for sure open your eyes when it comes to the market. And who knows, maybe you will be successful. You'll never know. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me once again. If you have any questions or if you feel that the IronFX school is not enough, as I said last time, you can always contact our support team by emailing us, or you can just click over here, and this is our live chat support, which is extremely helpful. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much once again. And I'll see you very, very soon. Have a good one.